Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a little bit of an apology and a little bit more of a serious topic. I'm sorry that I've not been consistent on my videos. Been a little bit crazy in my life, in my head. So I hope you guys enjoyed the last video I did of the sky after the tornado warning that we had that come through town. It was a little bit longer video, and I hope that you guys were okay with that. If not, it's okay. No skin off my teeth, I understand. But today's video is going to be about domestic violence. If you guys don't want to hear it, then please check out of this video. But we just recently had a shooting in our town. And we live in a very small town. And it was a woman, which is very, very rare that a woman shoots a man. And then she shot her, it was her ex-boyfriend, and then shot his new girlfriend. And then she turned the gun on herself and shot herself and killed herself. So what I wanted to talk to you today about is domestic violence and give you a few facts and a little bit of information, and then we'll call it a day. Domestic violence and its effects. Every 9 seconds in the USA, a woman is assaulted or beaten. 9 seconds, guys. Can you imagine that? And the amount of time it takes me to say a sentence, a woman is beaten every time. In the United States, an average of 20 people is physically abused by intimate partners every minute. This equates to more than 10 million abuse victims annually. Just let that sink in for a minute. And this doesn't always just mean women. We're talking about kids. Matter of fact, there's a father in the news right now that was accused of beating his children, his wife, using shock collars, needles under the nails. I mean, it's ferocious what they've talked about. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men have been physically abused by an intimate partner. Think about that for a second, guys. That's pretty wild, huh? On a typical day, domestic violence hotlines nationwide receive approximately 20,800 calls. The presence of a gun in a domestic violence situation increases the risk of homicide by 500%. 500%, guys. Domestic violence is most common among women between the ages of 18 and 24. And I see that because younger women feel as though, you know, if I just give him a little bit more of a chance, it'll be okay. You know, if I just do this better, it'll be okay. Girls, let me tell you, if mama teaches you anything, don't stay. The first time he hits you, get out. Because a man that'll hit you one time will do it again. I'm just going to tell you. He may not do it for a long time if he apologizes that time, but he will do it again. I'm just here to tell you. Only 34% of people who are injured by intimate partners receive medical care for their injuries. And the reason for that is they don't want people to know that they're being beaten by their intimate partner. Now, why do people stay in abusive relationships? One of the most common questions people ask about victims of domestic violence is, why don't you just leave? And these are the reasons people say they've not left. The victims fear the abuser's violent behavior will escalate if they leave. They've threatened to kill the victim's family, pets, children, and or himself or herself. The victim loves his or her abuser and believes that she or he will change. And we all have heard that. Oh, baby, I'll change. Oh, baby, believe me, I promise. Baby, please don't leave me. Baby, I love you. Yeah. A victim believes the abuse is a normal part of the relationship. Now, some people have been raised up in abuse. Their mom or dad has been abused. So they were raised up in that abuse, and they just naturally think that abuse is okay. It's not okay to be abused, people. It's never okay, mentally or physically. Ever. Mama will tell you straight up. Never, ever. Abuser threatens to take the victim's children away if he or she leaves. A victim wants his or her children to have 2 parents. Well, people, let me tell you something. If you want two parents, then act right. But you take your kids out of that house the first time he lays a hand on you, because eventually it will be you and your kids. Because he's not just going to stop at you when those kids get up big enough. I'm going to tell you right now. I've seen it too often. The victim's religious and or cultural beliefs preclude him or her from leaving. Now, this is where it gets to, like, I was raised in a Christian, you all know that I'm a Christian, and I was raised in that thing where if you're a Christian, you don't leave your husband, or, you don't divorce for no reason. Being beaten is a reason for leaving a spouse. I don't care who you are. You don't stay with someone that's going to beat you senseless. Now, I know that may seem harsh, that may seem mean, but do you want to keep your life? You want to keep your children's life. You may have low self-esteem, and that's why you don't want to leave your spouse, because your spouse has beaten you down so badly that you feel like, oh, well, I'm just not worth it. Nobody's going to love me, and I can't do any better. And believe you me, guys, I have been mentally abused by someone in the past. And I've learned that I have my own self-worth. You don't ever let anybody tell you that you're not worth it. You just come to me and I will tell you how much you're worth it. We're all loved. We're all worth every bit of the life and breath that we breathe. And nobody has the right to tell you that you're not worth anything. You're beautifully made by someone way above on high, and he loves all of us, and you are worth more than anything in this whole wide world. Do not ever let anybody tell you that you're not worth anything. Another thing is you have nowhere to go, and that you're embarrassed to let others know that you've been abused. Now, when my husband left me, this was a problem for me when I had nowhere to go. If I didn't have my family, I don't know what I would have done. I would have been sleeping in my car, and I would have done it. But my mom and dad took me back in. Now, my ex-husband didn't beat me, but I'm using this as an example, okay? There are ways. There are women's shelters. There are missions. There are homeless shelters. And there are people out there that will help. Just take the first step. And the victim also fears retribution from the abuser's family or friends. Now, this has happened in the past, and I've noticed this a lot in foreign families. And I'm not saying this to be picky, but you find this more in foreign families that are where they marry the family together, and then when abuse comes up, oh no, shh. It's kept very quiet. You do not have to live in that kind of life, people. I'm telling you right now, do not live in that kind of life. We're not made to be abused. We're not animals. We're humans. Even though we're taught to be subservient to our husbands or to the man, whatever. And I know some women will be like, oh, girl, you just said the wrong thing. The way I was raised, we're supposed to be subservient to our husbands, but I'm on my own, so I do my own thing. But a lot of cultures believe that you have to be subservient to your husband. But believe me, when it comes down to being beaten by your husband for no reason, no. That surpasses being subservient to your husband. That's the time to get out. Take the kids and get out. If you guys want more information on help with whatever you're going through, or if you need to call somebody, there's a national domestic hotline. It's 1-800-799-SAFE. And that is 1-800-799-7233. Or go online to domesticshelters.org. And I just really want to impress upon you guys how important I think this issue is. You guys are so important to me, and this is an issue that comes up with a lot of my younger viewers, and And I mean in the 20s, 18 to 20-year-olds, and they get caught up in teenage, young relationships. And I've seen this happen. And if you all ever need me, you can private message me at scopingmamabear at gmail.com, or imtyna at gmail.com. Please message me. I will listen. But if you know somebody that's in a domestic, a domestic relationship, a abusive relationship, please help them. If you can help them at all, just by talking to them, give them support, and maybe they can get the strength up enough to leave. So I love you guys. I know this is kind of a heavy subject, but after seeing what I saw on TV tonight, I just really thought this is something I wanted to talk about. I was blessed that my ex-husband he wasn't abusive to me. He just left, so I was blessed in that respect. Did it hurt? Yeah, it hurt. But he did not, he wasn't abusive to me. So, but I love you all. Remember to smile at someone, because you never know if it's going to make somebody's entire day. Believe me, your smile can make the difference. One person. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.